Welcome to Storyboard18 Visionaries, a platform where we celebrate marketing's brightest mavericks. After recognizing brilliance in marketing in Gurugram and Bengaluru, we unfolded the next chapter in the financial capital, Mumbai. The most celebrated names in the world of branding and marketing made Visionaries Mumbai a memorable celebration. From sharing the most inspiring stories to bringing the spotlight on the future, many crucial takeaways and strategies decoded.
In today's digital age in particular, the quality, the credibility, and the effectiveness of media are crucial factors in successful marketing. And this is the first thing we're going to be discussing tonight. In a world where consumers are inundated with information, it's obviously imperative that a brand's message reaches them effectively and in that limited time period for which you actually have their attention. Our first discussion is going to delve into exactly this, the importance of media quality in this very rapidly evolving landscape of advertising. So to shed a light on this, right here on the stage, we're going to have a few people joining us. First, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the country manager at IAS, Mr. Saurabh Khattar.
Today I'm going to speak about much discussed topic of attention. And I want you all to think about the last ad that caught your eye. Did it make you laugh? Did it make you feel happy? Did it make you click that ad? In today's era, in today's digital world, ads fight not just for ad space, but they fight for something much more valuable. That's your attention. Focusing on attention and optimizing the campaigns on attention is really important in today's era. So I would highly recommend talk to your trusted agency partners and learn more about how you can optimize your campaigns on the basis of attention. Now we all know that digital ecosystem is shifting. Content creation is growing at an unprecedented rate with platforms like Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Snapchat, and many more are contributing to this content creation and explosion of user-generated content. So video is growing, social is growing, and it becomes of paramount importance and utmost importance that brands take care of the reputation on the UGC content, in and around the UGC content, to make sure that their ads are placed in a safe environment. So to help brands and agencies at IAS, we have worked on a multimedia technology which analyzes video on frame-by-frame level. So it analyzes each and every frame, and in a sample video size of 12 minutes, it understands more than 3,000 plus cues. And it also has a detection of audio to text analysis or text to audio analysis. And all these signals are taken, and many more signals are taken, and it gives a brand safety score to that particular video. And now brands and agencies can use and make sure that they are not present around any unsafe videos that might be in a world of UGC or on an open web. So thank you all for your undivided attention today. We all know which is a rare commodity today in digital ecosystem. Thank you all.
Let's move on now to our next segment. We'd like to welcome onto the stage in just a few moments a leading figure in the world of marketing. The iconic campaign of Fevicol, brought to life under his leadership, not just enhanced that brand's engagement, but it left an indelible mark on audiences across the country. His work has impacted the entire marketing industry by setting gold standards in what it takes to build a brand. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Bharat Puri, MD of Pidilite Industries.
My starting point always is, it again sounds like a motherhood. It is in some ways a truism. But I always believe that good brands begin and end with the consumer. A lot of times, the word insight is misused a lot. Let me tell you a story rather than tell you about the power of insight. Many, many years ago, when I was at Cadbury, our five-star brand, and I'm sure a lot of you have grown up eating the brand, sales had plateaued. And we did various things. We revised, changed the advertising, relaunched, did some new word around the packaging, but the brand was just, and it was actually gently declining. The fascinating thing is, I still remember we did this research in Madurai and in Lucknow. And the consumer came and said, listen, five-star is Cadbury's most heat-hardy product. It's the product that lasts best in the heat. But our technical guys in making it heat hardy every year you'd been making it a little more heat hardy and a little harder without realizing it was now getting stuck in people's teeth. All we did was redid the old product. We put in advertising, if you remember, which was, Johnny, Johnny and muh mein ghul jaye. Obviously, you couldn't say daanton mein nahi phasta hai. So you said muh mein ghul jaye. Sales went up 2 years, 20% without any other change, no rejuvenation, no refreshment. I think the second, equally important, I just pay a lot of attention to the superior products always win. Spend a little bit of time on the consumer and spend a lot of time on the product. I'm a very strong believer in the power of effective communication. I think as a leader, one of our greatest abilities is our ability to create a culture where people are not afraid of making mistakes. And I'm a strong believer, therefore, in the power of the team. And therefore, my philosophy, which I would advocate strongly, is never worry about success as long as you're clear that when you're successful, the team gets the credit. When something doesn't go right, stand up and lead. If you're able to do that over a period of time, you will always have brand marketeers that are courageous, that are willing to take the risk and willing to push the envelope. Thank you so much.
As we embark on the rest of this night, on this journey that we're saying is a journey of marketing excellence, it's my privilege now to introduce the first set of our felicitations for the rest of the night. The first visionary that we're going to be celebrating is the Chief Customer and Brand Officer at Mahindra Group. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Asha Kharge. We're moving on. Our next honoree is a marketing luminary whose groundbreaking strategies have propelled L'Oreal to the forefront of the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming on the stage Saloni Shah. She's the Chief Digital and Marketing Officer for L'Oreal. Next, I'd like now to call onto the stage the man who's strengthened Ultratech Cement's brand presence. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ajay Dang. He's the President and Head of Marketing for Ultratech Cement. Moving now from the consumer goods category to the automotive sector, our next felicitation goes to the visionary who constantly push boundaries, resulting in initiatives that define the definition of marketing excellence. Welcome us onto the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Lance Bennett. The next honoree for tonight is the brain behind Bajaj Allianz's marketing triumphs. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Chandra Mohan Mehra, CMO, Bajaj Allianz. Our next visionary comes to us from the world of beauty and well-being. Please give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Harman Dillon, Executive Director, Beauty and Wellness, HUL. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us on the stage to do these felicitations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome onto the stage Mr. Santosh Iyer.
I keep telling to a lot of marketeers, don't be a cost center. This is what happens with most of marketing organizations, that they remain to be cost centers in the company. And whenever there is a crisis, the first cost to be cut is marketing, followed by G&A. And then we all are grumbling, hey, budgets are cut. The management doesn't understand. But the key issue here is we are not able to deliver revenue to the company. And to get into the board, to get into the ExCom, to get into the board of management, you need to be a revenue driver along with a cost that you have to spend, but to get revenues. I think this balance, as long as marketeers realize, I can at least with my experience, you can be in the board, you can grow in the organization, you can look at it holistically. To be successful, you need your own strategy. And this is where, as Mercedes-Benz, we said, we go back to basics, we look at what we need to do for the brand in this country. I firmly believe that our shared vision, what you want to create, needs to be really aligned with the agency partners. We need to break this line of agency, client. This is something that starts, building silos within organizations as well and within partners. So we are in the people business. We need to break this up and then look at how we can go beyond the obvious and how we can create new narratives. We are an automotive brand, and India sells 4 million cars. Luxury is around 48,000 cars, so we are 1% of the car market. Today, what we have done in India, I'm not sure if you know, we are the only brand in India to do direct-to-consumer retail model. Today, we have sold 40,000 cars. That translates to a turnover of close to 40,000 crores, I can say, by selling cars directly to consumers. Of course, we have the agents with us. But what we have done is we have redefined the entire luxury retailing experience when it comes to automotive sector. The key point here is you have to be a creator and a destroyer yourself. You cannot rely on what has been created as a traditional model. You need to challenge the status quo, and that's what we have done. I think we need to, and this is what Mercedes-Benz believes, that we invented the car, we continue to reinvent it, and we will reinvent it again. And this is where now with electrification, we are also challenging the status quo. The narrative on electric is not about being a fad, but it is about how do we ensure that we have a sustainable future also for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. We're going to have sir stay here, and we're going to introduce our next round of felicitations. Our next honoree is the Director and CMO of Amazon Pay. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Anuradha Agarwal. Our next honoree is the marketing genius who's been instrumental in driving Ajio's growth in the cluttered e-commerce space. Let's give it up for Arpan Biswas, the CMO. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to move on to our second category. We'd like to welcome our next honoree, the marketing maestro who's been the driving force behind brand Parle. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause for Mayank Shah, the VP of Parle. Moving on, the next felicitation goes to the marketing maestro whose consumer-first storytelling and digital-first strategies have powered some of India's best-known chocolate brands. Let's give a big round of applause for Nitin Saini, VP Marketing, Mondelez International. And next, the maverick responsible for building Visa's brand trust and bridging the gap between digital disruption and consumer engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome onto the stage Sujata V. Kumar, Head of Marketing for India and South Asia for Visa. Next honoree for tonight, the marketing maven behind Pidilite's brand glory. Let's welcome onto the stage Manish Dubey, CMO, Pidilite. And moving now to the realm of music, our next honoree has made a mark for herself with groundbreaking strategies that have led Spotify to new heights in our country. Driven, let's welcome Neha Ahuja, Director, Head of Marketing, Spotify. Our next segment, a thought-provoking conversation on AI, on data clouds, and the modern marketing strategy, and what the road ahead looks like amidst all of this. Our guest is renowned for his strategic foresight in revolutionizing customer engagement through digital technologies. It's under his stewardship that Salesforce not only expanded its influence, but it also empowered brands to deliver hyper-personalized experiences across different touchpoints. So beyond the physical, beyond the virtual, even meta-based. Let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Nishant Kalra, the Vice President of Salesforce Digital. Mr. Kalra will be joined on stage by the Managing Editor of Storyboard18, Dilshad Irani, for this conversation.
Well, Nishant, let's get straight into it. In what way is AI revolutionizing and enhancing marketing strategies and practices in your view?
AI has the ability to generate insights, be it running and executing marketing campaigns, choosing what creatives to be done based upon the segment affinities, to the dhanda. How can you improve the ROI or the dhanda for a marketer or for the organization? With AI, it's become quite simple for a marketer. We're seeing a huge adoption of AI and data within Indian organizations, the Bharat Ke brands.
When it comes to data, right? Why is it important to have a cohesive data strategy in place when implementing AI? Just give us your quick sum up your thoughts on that.
So when an organization leverages the LLM model or any AI model, the response is only towards that context. But the magic really happens if you're able to marry the LLM along with your organization data. So that's where the things come to life.
All right, let me just sum up our conversation, Nishant, by asking you, of course, there's a lot of, the trust factor around AI. What is trusted AI? What are its principles, and why is it becoming increasingly important today as we see, AI advancing everywhere?
So for us, since we started the organization, trust has been our number one value. Trust is built into our platform. Essentially, if you pick up the Einstein trust layer, it helps you to retain the data within the organization. So the trust layer ensures that no data goes and resides in the LLM model or the AI model. So your data remains with you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Nishant. It was lovely chatting with you on all things AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilshad. Thank you, Mr. Kalra, for that very insightful discussion. I'd like to invite on the stage Mr. Saurabh Khattar once again. He's the country manager of IAS, back on the stage for this next round of felicitations. All right, starting this round of accolades, let's move on to the digital public infrastructure sphere and the e-governance space. Our next visionary, ladies and gentlemen, has been instrumental in driving growth for Protean e-gov technologies in India. Please give a round of applause for Gaurav Ramdev, CMO, Protean e-gov technologies. Our next visionary truly defines the word multifaceted. As head of marketing, Piramal Finance, he is scripting new areas in marketing, taking the brand to never-before-seen heights. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Arvind Iyer, head of marketing, Piramal Finance. Moving on, our next honorary is a true pioneer in marketing, healthcare communications, and an empowerment advocate. She's been instrumental in driving purpose-driven market campaigns that have made a huge on-the-ground impact for the brand. Please give a huge round of applause for Vaishali Iyer. She's the country head communications and engagement and CSR for Novartis India. Our next visionary has led the brand Exotil to engineer a robust customer acquisition system, resulting in a 4-fold expansion of the sales funnel coverage, a remarkable 25% increase in lead conversion rates. Put your hands together for Udit Agarwal, VP and Global Marketing Head at Exotil. Our next honorary for tonight is the visionary behind Cashfree's marketing success. As head of marketing, he's been instrumental in driving the brand's marketing strategy through its growth phase. Give a big round of applause for Vaibhav Mehrotra, head of marketing, Cashfree. Our next honoree's marketing brilliance has given shape to award-winning campaigns, including the 7th edition of Share the Load campaign, which is one of the most sustained cause-based campaigns globally. Please give her a big round of applause. This is Mukta Maheshwari, Chief Marketing Officer, P&G. As the banking sector evolves with technological advancements and changing consumer expectations, it's crucial to recognize the minds that are steering this entire transformation. With our next segment, we're going to dive deeper into the marketing world with this dynamic industry in mind in particular. Our next guest has been pivotal as Federal Bank's first CMO, significantly shaping their digital and branding strategies. His campaigns, notably the Why Settle for Less initiative, have not only boosted digital banking adoption by over 40% in its initial months, they've also set benchmarks for innovation in customer engagement across the entire country. We're very, very pleased to introduce with us here on the stage MVS Murthy, the Chief Marketing Officer at Federal Bank, for a thought-provoking conversation on digital at 4, human at core. And joining him for this conversation is Shibani Gharat from CNBC TV 18.
In this era of digital and mobile banking, how does the bank balance between digital experience while maintaining that human touch?
As far as our brand is concerned, there is something very interesting about our brand. We have a less than 2% attrition rate. 42% of the employees in our company are women. Now, when I give you these stats, it means that these women joined us as young ladies, as probationary officers, as clerks. They had full-fledged careers, kids, unwell parents, in-laws, and all that has happened. Now, when you look at a consumer, we have consumers who are with us for the third generation now. And quite a few of them are also shareholders with the bank. So for us, it's always the relationship first, and the technology is a packaging.
Also, you have this philosophy of digital at 4, human at core. What is your advice to other marketers to follow this principle, which is digital at 4 and human at core?
I think one of the things I learned, and I must also do a reveal here, that when I began my career, I was like Mr. Bachchan in the South Hindustani frame, right at the corner here, because I began my career with Ogilvy, and a lot of my seniors are here. So it was a very nondescript kind of a role that we had, okay? And that agency, and I cherish this, taught me the need to go and keep meeting consumers over and over and over again. And that's what we go out and do. Thankfully, in the bank, being human at the core comes naturally to us. So, a lot of our colleagues, you don't need to tell them that you need to hide behind technology or whatever, but they're happy going out and meeting customers. So it's something which is there ingrained in that culture. Now, if I were to put on a face, then it would have looked very flaky. But we live that thought process. I mean, if you go to a bank branch, and some of our campaigns that you see, we run the largest cancer awareness program before you get cancer. And this is after cancer, a lot of people work, but we run that. Again, it's a connect with people. So a lot of our initiatives that we go out and do is actually people first. And then tech enables us to go out and do stuff.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for these wonderful insights.
Now let's move ahead. It's an honor, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome a stalwart of the advertising industry. A distinguished poet, a writer, an advertising professional, he's crafted some of the most memorable campaigns that resonate deeply with the Indian ethos. His work includes the iconic Thanda Matlab Coca-Cola, Surf Excel's Daag Achhe Hain, and the visually striking Happy Dent Dikha Batti Si campaign. Mr. Joshi's campaigns are celebrated for their cultural relevance, their deep social impact, and they reflect a unique ability to blend commercial objectives with societal values. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Prasoon Joshi, the chairman of McCann World Group Asia Pacific and the CEO and CCO of McCann World Group India, for a special conversation. The first question I want to ask you, and sir, we'd love if you could give us a little bit of context to your answer here, is the top 3 campaigns that when you look back have stayed with you that are your own, and why?
Youngest child is the one you love the most. So recently, I just did this Air India safety videos, which you would have seen. I think that was a new experience. I've never written something like this. I never thought it will connect with people. The purpose was an in-flight video. And well, one understood or learnt also that today the content doesn't have to be an ad. An ad, it doesn't have to be an ad. Anything can be an ad. I'll always cherish Happy Dent. It always, people remind me that was something which I was fortunate that I was part of and I could think of.
So, sir, can we ask you, because through this evening we've used this word a lot, visionary, and we wanted to ask you, when we keep using this word, what does it actually mean for you when you've in your career worked with different CMOs? What are the qualities that you're looking for in someone you're going to be partnering with?
I think receptive, open, not fixated, listening to you, because I feel that there is an object out there and you're putting different shafts of light. Every shaft of light is becoming clearer to you. Second thing is that clarity with which they come to you, with open-mindedness, of course, but clarity with which they finally handhold you, and conviction. Not making you conscious of the failure.
Okay, we're going to start this round of felicitations with a trailblazer who redefined the consumer goods landscape with groundbreaking strategies. Give a round of applause to Ankit Kapoor, Head, Marketing and International Business, Vale Agro. Next felicitation is for a visionary who's played an instrumental role in expanding Angel One's visibility through several award-winning campaigns, along with a strong focus on performance marketing and technological integrations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause for Prabhakar Tiwari, Chief Growth Officer, Angel One. Continue. Join us in welcoming to the stage the true driving force behind Bisleri's success. Let's applaud all of the contributions of Tushar Mehrotra. He's the Director of Sales and Marketing for Bisleri International. Moving now to the financial services sector, our next honoree has been at the very helm of marketing for India's legacy insurance brand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome onto the stage Ratin Lahiri, the Head of Marketing and CSR at SBI General Insurance. Our next visionary has taken Zetwork to newer heights and transformed customer experience. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for Amrit Raj, the Director of Marketing, Corporate Affairs and Communication at Zetwork. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be drawing our evening to a close. As we conclude the Mumbai chapter of Storyboard 18 Visionaries, we'd like to extend our gratitude to all of you for your participation. It's been beautiful through the night to watch colleagues greet each other with hugs. We have a very, very big thanks to all of our visionaries, our esteemed speakers, our guests, and our generous partners.
With this, we wrap the first season of Storyboard 18 Visionaries with the commitment of a more engaging, insightful and impactful Season 2, where we will continue bringing inspiring and innovative marketeers who have been setting new industry benchmarks.